All right, so we've got a deep dive today into something that you specifically requested.
Oh,
It's Earl Nightingale's Play the Price philosophy,
okay.
and specifically his famous 30-day challenge.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about this one. It's been around for decades,
Right.
but it still resonates with people today.
Yeah, it does.
So what is it about this challenge that keeps drawing people in? What's the secret sauce?
Well, I think one of the things that makes Nightingale's work so compelling is that he doesn't just offer feel-good platitudes.
Right.
He connects his ideas to fundamental principles.
Yeah.
Like a law of physics from Sir Isaac Newton.
Oh, interesting.
For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
So he's bringing physics into personal development.
Exactly.
That's cool.
He's saying that we can't expect success to just magically appear.
Right.
We have to put in the effort, the action, to create the desired reaction.
I like it.
Our success, and he calls this effort the price we have to pay.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this ties into the pay the price idea.
Yeah.
But what exactly does that price entail? Is it just about working hard?
Right.
Or is there more to it?
It's definitely about more than just hard work.
Okay.
Nightingale breaks down the price into several key components. Controlling our thoughts, embracing imagination, acting with courage, and consistently saving 10% of our earnings.
Now that 10% savings part really piqued my interest. Is he talking strictly about money here?
That's a great question, and Nightingale doesn't explicitly define it,
Okay.
which I think is intentional.
Yeah.
He wants us to consider what saving could mean in different areas of our lives.
Right.
Sure, it could be financial, a way to build discipline and resourcefulness.
Right.
But it could also apply to saving time, energy, or even ideas.
Oh, interesting.
Imagine saving your best energy for the tasks that truly matter, or saving time by eliminating distractions
I like that.
drain your focus.
It opens up a whole new way of thinking about saving. So how does this all fit into the 30-day challenge itself? What are the actual steps involved in this experiment?
Nightingale keeps it surprisingly simple.
Okay.
The first step is identifying your single most important goal, the one thing you want more than anything else.
Okay.
He's very clear that it should be clearly defined and written down on a card that you carry with you everywhere.
Okay.
The second part of the challenge is to look at that card multiple times a day.
Got it.
And visualize yourself achieving that goal.
Okay, so there's a strong emphasis on focus and visualization.
Yeah.
But let's be real, most of us have those nagging fears and negative thoughts that pop up.
Yeah.
How does Nightingale address that in the challenge?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Oh.
He doesn't shy away from the reality of negative thoughts.
Right.
He acknowledges that most people tend towards negativity,
Yeah.
which he believes is a major reason why only a small percentage achieves significant success. The challenge is to consciously replace those negative thoughts with positive ones. It's about retraining your brain to focus on possibilities, not limitations.
So it's like actively rewiring your mindset for success by controlling your thoughts.
Exactly.
But isn't there a danger of ignoring genuine problems or suppressing real emotions if we're constantly pushing for positivity?
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
And I think Nightingale would agree that it's not about denying reality or pretending that everything is perfect.
Right.
It's more about shifting your perspective.
Right.
If you're constantly focused on what could go wrong,
Yeah.
you're likely to miss opportunities and sabotage your own efforts.
Right.
He's encouraging us to look for the potential for good, even in challenging situations.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's about choosing where you direct your energy and attention. But is it really possible to completely rewire your thinking in just 30 days?
Right.
I mean, that sounds pretty ambitious.
It is ambitious.
Yeah.
And I don't think Nightingale intended it to be a one-time fix.
Right.
He saw it as a starting point.
Oh.
A way to kickstart a new way of thinking and behaving.
Yeah.
The real magic happens when you repeat the challenge.
Okay.
Each time, deepening your self-awareness and strengthening your mental resilience.
So it's more about building a habit of positive thinking and action than achieving some kind of overnight transformation.
Right.
That feels more sustainable.
Yeah.
But how does someone actually integrate this into their everyday life? I mean, it's one thing to think positive thoughts, but how does that translate into real-world results?
That's where the idea of service comes in.
Okay, let's unpack that.
Yeah.
How does service tie into achieving personal success.
Right.
I think a lot of people might see those as separate things.
He believed that true success, both personal and financial, comes from providing genuine value to others.
Okay.
He even called it a law.
Interesting.
The law of mutual exchange.
So it's not just about focusing on what you can get, but on what you can give.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about understanding that success is a two-way street. When you focus on providing value on serving others,
Right.
you create a positive ripple effect
Yeah.
that ultimately benefits you as well.
I'm really intrigued by this idea of mutual exchange.
Yeah.
Could you give us a real-world example of how this works in practice?
Sure. Think about a small business owner.
Okay.
They might be passionate about making the best coffee in town,
Okay.
but if they just focus on their own enjoyment of brewing, they might not be successful.
Right.
However, if they genuinely care about serving their customers,
Yeah.
about creating a welcoming space, and about consistently delivering a high-quality product,
Right.
they're much more likely to build a loyal following and thrive.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
They're not just selling coffee, they're providing an experience and building relationships.
exactly.
And that, in turn, leads to their success.
Right.
It's a win-win for everyone involved. But let's be honest, staying motivated and inspired for 30 days straight can be tough. Did Nightingale offer any practical tips for maintaining that momentum throughout the challenge?
He did.
Okay.
He actually recommended specific books to read during the 30 days
Oh, interesting.
to keep that inspiration flowing.
Yeah.
Titles like The Bible, Wake Up and Live, The Magic of Believing, and Think and Grow Rich.
Wow. Think and Grow Rich is a classic.
It is.
I'm curious to know what resonated with him about that particular book.
Well, Napoleon Hill,
Yeah.
the author of Think and Grow Rich, was a huge influence on Nightingale.
Right.
They both believed that thoughts are powerful and that cultivating a success-oriented mindset is essential for achieving your goals.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like he's curating a reading list to support the principles he's outlining in the challenge.
Right.
That's a fantastic resource for our listeners.
Absolutely.
So we've covered a lot of ground here: the price of success, the power of positive thinking, the importance of service, and even a recommended reading list. But I think there's a lot more to explore.
You're right. We've only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to unpack when it comes to Nightingale's 30-day challenge.
Let's take a deeper dive into this fascinating challenge in part 2.
Okay.
Stay with us.
Welcome back.
One thing that really struck me
Yeah.
was his emphasis on persistence.
Right.
He doesn't just mention it in passing.
Uh-huh.
He makes it clear that persistence is a crucial ingredient for success.
Absolutely.
And what's fascinating is how he connects persistence to faith.
Right.
He sees them as intertwined. He's saying that if you truly believe in what you're doing, if you have faith in yourself and the process, you won't give up even when faced with obstacles.
Yeah, and he acknowledges
Wow.
that those moments of doubt are inevitable.
Yeah.
We all experience them,
Right.
but he doesn't want us to get stuck there.
Okay.
His advice is to simply start the 30 days over again, right from the point
Interesting.
where you feel that doubt creeping in.
So it's not about being perfect
Right.
or never having doubts.
Ex-
It's about developing the resilience
Yeah.
to bounce back from those moments and recommit to your goal.
Precisely. And in doing so, you're not just working towards a specific outcome,
Yeah.
you're also developing valuable character traits
Okay.
like discipline, perseverance, and self-belief.
It sounds like this challenge is as much about self-discovery as it is about achieving a specific goal.
Yeah.
You're learning about your own inner strength,
Right.
your capacity to overcome challenges, and your ability to stay committed to what's important to you.
Absolutely. And one of the things that sets Nightingale apart from other self-help gurus
Yeah.
is his clear emphasis on service.
Okay.
He doesn't just focus on personal achievement, he connects it to a larger purpose
Right.
of contributing to the well-being of others.
That's a really important distinction.
Yeah.
It's not about me.
Right.
It's about recognizing that our individual success is interconnected with the well-being of the community
Exactly.
and the world around us.
And he uses a really vivid analogy. To illustrate this point, he talks about a man who sits in front of a stove
Interesting.
and demands heat before adding any wood.
Okay, that's an image that sticks with you.
Right.
How does that relate to success?
Well, he's using this to challenge a common misconception that success comes before hard work or service.
Okay.
People often think if I were already successful, then I would give back.
Right.
Or if I had more money, then I would do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
But Nightingale flips that on its head.
Yeah.
He's saying you need to put in the effort, the fuel,
I saw.
before you can expect the heat of success.
So it's about shifting your focus from what you can get to what you can give.
Exactly.
And that giving that service is what ultimately fuels your success.
He even goes so far as to call it a law.
Okay.
The law of mutual exchange.
I'm really curious about this law of mutual exchange.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on how Nightingale explained this concept?
He believed that anyone who contributes to prosperity, whether it's through their work, their ideas, or their actions, must prosper in turn.
Okay.
It might not come directly from the people they serve,
Right.
but the return is inevitable.
Okay.
It's like an energetic exchange.
It's interesting.
The universal principle of reciprocity.
So it's not about keeping score or expecting a quid pro quo from every interaction.
Right.
It's about consistently putting positive energy out into the world and trusting that it will come back to you in some form.
Precisely. And this idea is incredibly relevant today,
Yeah.
especially in a world where so much emphasis is placed on individual achievement and competition.
Right.
Nightingale is reminding us that we're all interconnected and that collaboration, generosity, and mutual support are essential ingredients for true and lasting success.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like he's offering a counter narrative to the every man for himself mentality that's so prevalent in our culture.
He is, and he's backing it up with a philosophy that's grounded in both universal principles and practical strategies for personal growth.
Okay, all of this is really resonating with me.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, putting all of this into practice is no small feat.
Right?
Changing your mindset, developing new habits, and consistently putting in the effort to serve others, it can feel overwhelming. Did Nightingale offer any specific guidance on how to actually make these changes stick?
He did.
Okay.
He actually quoted a psychiatrist named David Harold Fink,
Okay.
who outlined 6 powerful steps
Okay.
for achieving success.
Okay.
I think these steps offer a really practical roadmap for anyone looking to apply Nightingale's philosophy.
Okay, let's hear it.
The first step, and arguably the most important,
All right.
is to set yourself a definite goal.
Okay.
That's the foundation of the entire challenge. Without a clear target, your efforts will be scattered and unfocused.
That makes sense.
Right.
It's like having a destination in mind before you start a journey.
Exactly. The second step is to stop putting yourself down.
All right.
Negative self-talk is one of the biggest obstacles to success. It's like constantly poking holes in your own boat
Right.
before you even set sail.
So it's about recognizing and challenging those negative thought patterns that undermine our confidence and self-belief.
Precisely the third step builds on this.
Okay.
Shift your thinking from why you can't succeed to why you can
Okay.
look for possibilities instead of focusing on limitations.
It's about choosing to focus on what's possible
Exactly.
and empowering yourself to take action.
Yeah.
Or the other steps.
The fourth step gets a little deeper.
Oh,
Trace your attitude back to your childhood.
interesting.
Try to identify where you first picked up the belief
Mm-hmm.
that you couldn't be successful.
Wow, that's insightful.
Yeah.
It's about acknowledging that many of our beliefs about ourselves and our potential were formed early on,
Right.
often unconsciously,
Right.
and that we have the power to challenge and rewrite those narratives.
Exactly. The fifth step
Okay.
is to change the image you have of yourself.
Okay.
Write out a detailed description of the person you want to become.
Mm-hmm.
The successful, confident, and fulfilled version of you.
It's like creating a blueprint for your future self,
Exactly.
a vision to guide your actions and choices.
Precisely. And the final step
Yeah.
is to act the part.
Okay. But how does acting the part actually lead to real change?
Right.
It seems a little superficial at first glance.
I think what Fink,
Yeah.
by extension, Nightingale is getting at,
Okay.
is the power of aligning your actions with your aspirations.
Okay.
It's about bridging the gap between who you are now
Right.
and who you want to become.
Okay.
By consciously choosing to act in ways that reflect your desired self-image.
So it's not about pretending or being inauthentic.
Right.
It's about making choices that align with your goals and values.
Exactly.
It's about taking concrete steps towards becoming the person you envision.
It's about understanding
Right.
that our actions shape our reality.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so empowering.
See it.
It's a reminder that we have agency, that we can create our own reality, one choice, one action at a time.
Right.
But this whole process of transformation, of stepping into our full potential, it can be challenging.
Yeah,
It requires a lot of honesty and self-reflection.
it does.
Did Nightingale offer any words of encouragement?
He did.
Okay.
For those who might be feeling intimidated by the journey ahead, he recognized that personal growth is a process, not a destination.
Okay.
There will be setbacks and challenges, and
Right.
that's okay.
Yeah.
He encouraged people to approach those moments with self-compassion, to celebrate their progress,
Okay.
and to keep moving forward, even if it's one small step at a time.
That's such an important reminder.
Yeah,
It's not about being perfect.
right.
It's about being persistent
Exactly.
and showing up for yourself even when it's hard.
And I think it's important to acknowledge that Nightingale's ideas have stood the test of time.
Yeah.
They continue to resonate with people decades after he first shared them.
Absolutely.
There's something timeless and universally applicable
Yeah.
about his message of personal responsibility, self-belief, and the power of service.
I agree. We've covered so much ground already.
We have.
But I feel like we could keep talking about Nightingale's work for hours.
Me too. There's always more to explore and unpack.
Well, before we get carried away,
Right.
we need to make sure we leave some time for our listeners to process all of these incredible insights.
Right. Let's take a pause here
Okay.
and give everyone a chance to absorb everything we've discussed so far.
Yeah.
We'll be back soon to wrap up this deep dive into Earl Nightingale's 30-day challenge.
Okay, so we're back
We are?
and ready to wrap up our deep dive into Earl Nightingale's 30-day challenge.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired.
I am too.
I think one of the things that makes his work so enduring is that it's not about quick fixes or shortcuts.
Right.
He's offering a roadmap for a lifetime of growth and fulfillment,
Yes.
not just a 30-day burst of motivation.
You're absolutely right. He understood that real change
Yeah.
takes time, effort, and consistent action.
It's like he's saying, stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan.
Right.
Just start.
Exactly. And as you embark on this journey,
Yeah.
remember to stay inspired.
Right.
Surround yourself with positive influences. Revisit those motivational books we talked about.
Okay.
And keep your focus on your goal.
Right.
It's like creating a supportive ecosystem for your own growth.
It's about being intentional with the information and energy you allow into your life,
Right.
making choices that align with your aspirations.
Exactly.
But what about those inevitable moments of doubt?
Right.
We all experience them,
Yeah, we do.
even with the best intentions. How did Nightingale advise people to deal with those moments when they feel like giving up?
Well, he emphasized the importance of recognizing negative thoughts as they arise
Okay.
and consciously choosing to replace them
Right.
with more positive and empowering ones. He wasn't suggesting that we ignore problems or pretend everything is perfect.
Right.
It was more about cultivating a mindset of possibility
Okay.
and focusing on solutions rather than dwelling on obstacles.
So it's about building a mental filter that catches those negative thoughts.
Yes.
And redirects your attention towards more constructive and optimistic outlook.
Exactly. But what if you find yourself really struggling with
Yeah.
those negative thoughts, even after trying to reframe them?
Yeah.
Did he offer any other advice for those times
Yeah.
when you feel like you're losing momentum?
He did, didn't he?
He did. He did.
What was it?
Remember his suggestion to start the 30 days over again?
Oh, right.
If you find yourself getting bogged down in negativity,
Yeah.
it might seem counterintuitive,
Right.
but it's a powerful way to reset your focus
Mm-hmm.
and reinforce your commitment.
It's like hitting the refresh button on your mindset,
Exactly.
reminding yourself of your goals and why they're important to you.
Yes, but beyond the mental game.
Right.
I think a lot of people struggle with the practical side of things.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you actually take those positive thoughts
Right.
and turn them into tangible results?
Yeah. How do you bridge that gap between thinking and doing?
That's where the concept of service comes back into play.
Okay.
Nightingale believed that taking action, particularly in service of others,
Okay.
is essential for translating positive thinking into real-world success.
I see.
It's not enough to just sit around visualizing your goals.
Yeah.
You have to get out there and do something
Right, yeah.
to make them happen.
Uh-huh.
And when you focus on providing value to others,
Yeah.
you create a ripple effect
Totally.
that ultimately benefits you as well.
It's like that saying, the
Yeah.
more you give, the more you receive.
Right.
It's about creating a cycle of abundance and generosity
Exactly.
that flows both inward and outward.
And it doesn't have to be grand gestures
Right.
or heroic acts of service. It
Yeah.
could be simple things like
Yeah.
being kind to a stranger, helping a colleague with a project,
Yeah.
or volunteering your time to a cause you care about.
Right.
It's about making a conscious effort
Yeah.
to contribute positively to the world around you.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that service isn't just something you do on the side.
Right.
It's an integral part of a fulfilling and successful life.
Absolutely.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
I feel like we've just scratched the surface of Nightingale's work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And a solid foundation
For sure.
for exploring his ideas further.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Just this, Earl Nightingale believed that every single person has within them the potential for greatness.
Right.
He saw his work as a way to help people unlock that potential
Yeah.
and create lives of meaning, purpose, and abundance.
I think that's a beautiful sentiment to end on.
Yeah.
So to our listener, as you embark on your own 30-day journey or any journey of personal growth, remember these key takeaways.
Right.
Define your goal.
Yes.
Cultivate a positive mindset. Embrace persistence.
Yes.
Tap into the power of service.
Right.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
You have the power to create the life you want.
Yeah.
And with the right tools and mindset, anything is possible.
I agree.
It's been an absolute pleasure exploring Earl Nightingale's philosophy with you.
It has been for me too.
I hope you feel as inspired and empowered as I do.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, success is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
And that journey begins with a single step.
Yeah.
So take that step today and watch your life transform.
Absolutely.
Until next time,
Okay.
keep diving deep.
Yeah.